this is Erica from PositivelyLace.com. Today I'm going to make the semi-instructional video for the White Russian skirt. Sorry, I'm using my phone to record. Some people had issues with it, and I didn't get a chance to remake this skirt yet. So I'm doing that now, going over the issues people had. I can see where a lot of you had issues, and I'm going to be talking about that and hopefully fixing it. So for the White Russian, you're going to need an E4 hook. That's a 3.5 millimeter hook. And I'm using Lily Sugar and Cream 100% cotton. I would recommend buying the large skein. This is a 14 ounce skein. I used maybe half of it for the skirt, but it's nice. It's more economical than buying a bunch of the smaller ones. And you can make a lot of things with it, like dishcloths and other things that last a long time because they're cotton. So to start off, I went ahead and was following my directions where I said to chain 9, and by some miracle that seemed to work out for when I chained 153, which I stayed in my pattern and I'm going to be changing now. Because when I did it again in a smaller size this time, because the 153 chain actually came out a little bit larger, a size 8 skirt, than I had wanted. So I chained 117 when I was trying it again to make it a little bit smaller, like a 35-inch waist or a size 6. It ended up not coming out right. So other people have said that 14 chain worked for them. Chaining 14, so I'm doing that now. I went ahead, I'm going to skip the triples and go back to that later in case it doesn't come out right again, but I'm pretty sure it will because the base pattern is, you'll see when you get to it on row 5, it's 11 single crochets and skip 3, so that ends up being 14 stitches, and that's the base of your ruffle. So I should have realized that ahead of time. This is the first time I've ever written up a pattern, and I had to follow a Russian diagram, and I can't read Russian, so I was just basically following the diagram. And I guess the most confusing part is figuring out how to chain the correct amount for different sizes, which I'm still not good at, but that base of 11 stitches is what's going to create your ruffles. So this time I chained 112. That's repeats of 14. There's 8 repeats of 14 stitches, which is what I think will be the base pattern stitch. So I'm going to pretend I went through rows 4. So as you can see there, the first row is just the chain, and then the second row will be the single crochet. The third row will be these triples, which I'm skipping the triples for right now, and then the next row 4 would be another row of single crochet before you start the ruffle pattern. I'm going to go ahead and skip that and just work, so pretend I'm on row 4 now, and there would be triples be here, you know. I'll go and add the triples later, and then another row of single crochet when I finish. I just want to get into the basic pattern and make sure we're doing this right. So okay, we're going to start on row 5, pretend we have our triples done. Yeah, our triples row 3, and then this would be row 4. And then we're going to go on to row 5. Row 5 is the base of your little ruffles. So what you're going to do after you joined in row 4, you are going to work in the front loops only, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You'll chain 5, skip 3, single crochet, and then you'll single crochet in 11 single crochets. So as you can see, there's kind of like when you flip it to the top, kind of a braid. Some of you know how to do front or back loops, some don't. So you'll see there's a front part of the braid and then a back part. So we're just going to insert our needle when we go in the front loop, just in that front part of the braid. Well, it's a little hard to work in here, but see how I went through that front loop only, and I'm leaving the back loop untouched, because when we go to join a next tier, we want the back loop open so we can join in that loop, and our ruffle tiers will fall on top of each other, and it will look a lot nicer. It won't be as busy. As you can see here, that tier in the back, we started it in the back loops right here. So it just, the top layer just falls nicely on top of it. They're not like poofing out like this. So anyway, on to row 5. So we'll be working in the back loops. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip 3. So skip 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 11, just going in the front loop only. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so you can see this yarn is sometimes difficult to work with, especially with a smaller hook. It kind of grabs those little fibers. So what were we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. That's 10. And 11. So if you can see in the back, we've created that ridge of the back loops right there. Sorry. There's that ridge where we'll be adding our tier later. So there's 11. And then chain another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then skip 3. 1, 2, 3. And then again, you're just going to repeat all around the skirt. Single crochet in 11. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that to the end of the skirt and then join, and then we'll go on to round 6. Okay, so we finished up row 5, and as you can see, we get these little chain 5 loops. That will be the center of our ruffles all around the skirt. So okay, in row 5 in the pattern, towards the end, it says join skirt with a slip stitch to the first single crochet, the first chain of the chain 5 at the beginning. So, I mean, you can either start that chain in row 5 with a single crochet, or when you start row 6, you can just join a slip stitch there because you're going to need that right there. So I'm going to write that into the pattern, but you're going to need to start like actually in the chain 5 for the next row, for row 6, and I'm going to show you why. When you chain 3, the beginning of row 6, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 actually counts as a half double crochet. If you hadn't done the slip stitch here, you're going to be chaining 3 here, and it's going to look like a loop instead of actually being the half double crochet in the actual ruffle. So you'll do that. You'll chain 3, or sorry, slip stitch inside of here if you haven't, or if you made the single crochet at the beginning of row 5 there, you can slip stitch in that. But just, if you don't, just slip stitch in there, chain 3, and then you're going to start and do 10 half double crochet, and then you'll see when your next one you're going to be doing 11 half double crochet. So this chain 3 actually counts as your beginning round, but your half double crochet in here. So this is the first one, and then you'll do 10 more. So 1, or sorry, this will be number 2 because your chain 3 counts as 1. Oops, I hate this yarn sometimes. 2, 3, and a half double crochet if you don't know. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, because our chain 3. A half double crochet, if you don't know, you yarn over just like a double crochet, and instead of drawing through 2 loops and drawing through 2 loops again, you're just going to take your yarn after you pulled up a loop and pull it through all 3 on the hook. So it's half the process of a double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 total half double crochet, because our first is chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 half double crochet. Okay. So now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 5 of these single crochet and just single crochet in the 6th single crochet. So skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just single crochet. You can go through 2 loops there, and then chain 3, skip 5 more, single crochet, these 5, and then just same process, 11 half double crochet in the next chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11. Okay, so just keep doing that around your skirt until you get back to the beginning, and then you're going to join with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain. The 3rd chain is right here. Remember, we did a chain 3, so just join it in that top little 1, 2, 3rd chain of that beginning chain 3 right there. Okay, so I'll see you at the beginning of round 7, row 7. Okay, so we finished row 6 and we're going on to row 7. You're going to chain 4 where you joined in that chain 3 space in the 3rd chain, so you're going to chain 4. This is going to count as a double crochet chain 1. So this is your first double crochet and first chain 1. And so you're going to double crochet chain 1 in the next half double crochet. So 1, chain 1. You're going to repeat that 8 times, and then when you get to the end, you're going to double crochet chain 1 and then just double crochet in that last half double crochet. And you should have a total of 11 of these double crochets, and there should be 9 chain 1 spaces in between them. So let's keep going. That was number 2, our second double crochet, chain 1, and then this was 3, chain 1, 4, chain 1, 5, chain 1, 6, chain 1, 7, chain 1, 8, chain 1, 9, chain 1, some more yarn here, 10, chain 1, and then we have our 11th double crochet, and so we don't chain 1. So we have 1, our first chain 4, and then there's chain 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so we want 11 double crochets in chain 1, so it kind of creates this beautiful little fan. After you've done that, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You're going to skip the chain 3 space and single crochet in the single crochet. So skip this chain 3 space and single crochet in that single crochet. And then you will chain 3 again. And then you're just going to repeat exactly what you did here on the first one. So we chained 3. Sorry, my camera keeps running out of space. But okay, so still in row 7, we completed this fan, and so we're going to do it again here. We want 11 double crochets and 9 chain 1 spaces in between them. So we just 1 in the first half double crochet, chain 1, and then in the next. Chain 1, chain 1, chain 1, and the next. Sorry. Chain 1, chain 1, until you get to that last one. You'll chain 1 and then just do a double crochet in that last half double crochet right there. So we should have 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, one more. Chain 1, and then the last one. So there you go. You have 11 double crochets and 9 chain 1 spaces. Okay, so just continue. Go ahead and chain 3, single crochet in there, chain 3, and then again do the 11 double crochets with the 9 chain 1 spaces between them. And then I'll see you at row 7. Oh, also at the end of, or row 8. I'll see you at row 8, but at the end make sure you join with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain. So that will be, here's our beginning chain 4, so you'll go in the 3rd chain. Okay, and I'll see you on row 8. Okay, so now we're starting row 8. We're going to chain 5, and that's going to count as our double crochet chain 2. Okay, so I chained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to double crochet in the next double crochet, chain 2, and you're going to do that 9 times. So here we have 1 double crochet. In the next, chain 2, and then just keep doing that. We have 2, chain 2, we have 3, chain 2, we have 4, chain 2, we have 5, chain 2, we have 6, chain 2, 7, chain 2. We have 8, chain 2, and then 9, chain 2, and then on the last one you're just going to double crochet in that last double crochet. Okay, and then when you get there you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. You're going to skip that chain 3 space again and single crochet in the single crochet. And then chain 3 again. And then do the same thing you did here. Okay? Except this time, because we started here with a chain 5, this time you're going to double crochet chain 2 10 times. And then double crochet in the last double crochet and just repeat around, and then at the end you'll join with a slip stitch to the 3rd chain of this beginning chain 5. That way when you do a 3rd chain you leave the chain 2 untouched. Okay, so I'll see you at the beginning of row 9. Okay, so now we're going on to row 9. this is where the diagram gets a little confusing. You end up skipping one of these chain 2 spaces for reasons I really don't know, but I just followed the diagram and included that in my pattern. I don't know how else to fix that, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'll show you how or where you skip it. I don't know why, but it doesn't really affect the overall look of your ruffle. So let's go ahead and start. After you finish this row, you'll actually fasten off, and that's where you will go and join your next tier. So let's do row 9. Here, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet in the first chain 2 space here. And then we're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in the next space. So 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. So that was all in that second space. Okay, so we did the first single crochet here, and then we did 3, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the second space. Okay, and then next you're going to just single crochet in each of these next 2 spaces. So 1 single crochet here, 1 single crochet here. Like that. Okay. And then you're going to do that process again with this shell and the 2 single crochets one more time. So 3 double crochet in this next space. Chain 2 and 3 in that same space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then the 2 single crochet, 1 in each of these 2 spaces. So 1, 2. Okay, now here's where it gets weird. This is what the diagram shows, so this is how I wrote it. So if you want to do it differently, then you can. So you're going to end up skipping this chain 2 space, and you're going to go into the next one and just make that shell again, the 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in this space. Chain 2, and then another 3. Okay, and then you're just going to single crochet in that last chain 2 space right there. And now you're going to skip this chain 3 space here. And then you're going to single crochet in the single crochet, skip the next chain 3 space, and then you're going to repeat from the beginning. You're going to single crochet in that first chain 2 space, and here you're going to make the shell, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, and then again, single crochet in the next 2, chain 2 spaces, and then you're going to do another shell, So we have 3 double crochet in that space. Chain 2 and another 3 double crochet. And then single crochet in the next 2, chain 2 spaces. And then again, that weird little part, we skip this chain 2 space. And then in the next one, do a shell. Chain 2. And 3 double crochet. And then just a single crochet in that last chain 2 space. Skip this chain 3 space, single crochet in the single crochet. Skip the next one and then just repeat again that pattern. So see, skipping that chain 2 space doesn't really affect it. I mean, overall you can't really tell. I don't know what the point of that is at all. I would have thought, or would think that they would have just made less of these or something, but that's how it is on the diagram, so I would follow it. You're going to continue around in this pattern until you get to the end. When you get to the end, you're going to join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. And remember that first single crochet we made in this first chain 2 space right here. So you'll just do a slip stitch there, and then you're going to fasten off, and you'll be ready to start a new ridge or a new tier in those back loops. Okay, so I'll see you then. Okay, so we finished up row 9 and fastened off. Row 11 is going to be worked in the back loops, so you'll be joining there. And then row 10 is going to be joined in these back loops, and then row 11 will just go off that and make it go out a little longer so that your next tier will start out lower, so it'll look longer, and you won't have to make as many tiers of ruffles. So what I suggested in the pattern is creating or joining in a space where instead of them overlapping like this, they'll actually fall like that. So there will be a ruffle in between 2 ruffles on this layer. There will be one here, and then it'll keep going around like that. I just think it looks better that way, but you can do it whatever way you want. So to do that, remember how we created that foundation 14? There was 11 single crochet, and then we skipped 3 here. So it's going to be the same. There's going to be the 5 and then 6. I don't know how it works, but how I did it was when I joined my new row, I found a center space. So here is where our center would be. So you go down to that piece on your ridge, and then you count over 1, 2, and you join there, because this is going to be where we skip our 3, or chain 5 and skip our 3 down on row 12. So you can do it here, or you can cut your yarn after row 11 and then join it on row 12 so that you figure out where your center will be. Or you can do it right now. So I'm just going to show you how to join the yarn for row 10. So we get our yarn, and then we make a slip stitch. So I'm going to do the join on the specific row here. You can do it on row 12 if you want, or you can do it here. So I'm going to want my new ribbon, or ruffle, sorry, I keep saying that. My new ruffle is going to be here. So I want that 3 space like this to be right there. So I find a center down, that looks like a center space. I'm going to count over 2. and join there. So here we go on our ridge. It's 1, 1, 2. Okay, so going into that back loop only, 1, 2. I'm going to join there and do a slip stitch and then chain 4. This is for row 10. 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to skip 1. That wasn't my back loop, was it? Nope. Okay, yeah, it's a little hard. You'll know your ridge because it'll be right behind this, and you'll see it, and then you can follow it over. So I'm going to rejoin. So that's the center of our next ruffle. There, go over 1, 2, join in that back loop. Little nub sticking out. We'll join there with a slip stitch, chain 4. That counts as a double crochet, chain 1, and then you'll skip 1, and then you'll double crochet in the next. Back loop. Chain 1, skip the next back loop, and double crochet in the next. And you're just going to do that all the way around this skirt. Chain 1, skip 1 back loop, double crochet in the next until you get to the end, and then when you do, you're going to join with a slip stitch into the 3rd chain so that we leave a chain 1 here, and it will look uniform. And then for row 11, you'll just chain 3, and then you're just going to double crochet in each double crochet and in the chain space. So you'll double crochet in this, and then you'll double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet, all the way around the skirt. And that's just going to lengthen the layer so that it falls lower, so that it's not like your ruffle is totally behind it and your skirt gets too thick. This will lengthen it out so that it'll fall lower. And then once you get to row 12 is when you're going to just start your base pattern where you create the ruffles. So it's just repeating everything we did here when we made the single crochet 11 and then the chain 5, skip 3, and then you just keep working on the ruffle until you get to the end. You'll fasten off, go in the back loops of that next ruffle, create another one all the way down the skirt. And another nice thing about creating that length is that it gives the inside of your skirt kind of like this mesh tube. So let me try and show you. So there's the inside of my skirt. See, it's kind of like this nice mesh tube. That way you can't really see in it very well. And then here are our layers, all of our layers. You can add as many tiers as you want. This one came out pretty short. You can have it as short as you want. You can make it really long. All I suggest is it gets pretty heavy. This cotton is actually, I mean, with all the layers, it's pretty heavy. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, so that's how I made the white Russian skirt. I hope this helped you. I learned a lot by redoing this skirt, and I'm so sorry it took so long to do it, or to make corrections. So enjoy.